the event out loud in the U.S., there's a provocative element to it. And I know that's not the intention, but I didn't think it was a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea for Muslims to do that. Because at the end of the day, if it's da'wah, I think da'wah is effective in an indirect manner as well, rather than having to adhan out loud. We have our countries where we do that, and in the United States, we can still practice our religion. If we need to leak out into the streets to pray, it's like, no problem. Let's play the adhan on a loudspeaker in a city in the U.S. To me, that's a little bit more spicy. I think culturally the country is Christian. I don't think in any legal way it's Christian whatsoever. Secular republic or whatever they would say.
I think it's more secular. I think it's more atheist. Because if you look at it like, what is America? We have the American flag first, the Israeli flag second. Like, you ever see people holding up the Catholic flag? The third flag, what is it? It's a rainbow flag.
Well, you're in line with what I said. I think the U.S. is culturally Christian. So, like, when it benefits them, then it's the cross, then it's Christ. But otherwise, it can be. Christians are not that religious. I mean, Christians don't really, like, uphold their faith to the fullest. Even look at the United States, the majority, I believe, is Protestant. And then after that is Catholicism. Catholicism is supposed to be rigid, but I see Catholic people all the time doing things that are completely against their faith. So I think there's a cultural aspect that I'm not saying we need to respect and be careful. And like, I'm not saying Muslims need to cut themselves to appease to people who are Muslim, but we should try and straddle the line of being a little bit more appropriate in assimilation, and so that we don't cause more division. And so like he had that clip yesterday. That's gonna make, like, everybody's already jumping on that. They're angry. But
it's the provocative aspect. I think the Times Square part was provocative. Who people in New York City or in America have a right to be mad at it? I don't think so. We still have freedom of religion. I don't think they have a right to be mad. But it was provocative, 100%. It's better. It's better in general if you're praying instead of
yeah, I mean, look, it's a balanced position. I don't think it's a hot take. Praying in public, I'm not against in and of itself. When the situation calls for it. Me and Sneeko are walking around, it's time for us and it's time for Maghrib. Okay, like, pray right there, 4 or 5 guys with us, it's not a problem. But like, to set up the whole Tarawih prayer in Times Square, I just thought was unnecessary. So that's all I was saying.
You know what the other angle I saw of that though? It was like, this is where 9/11 happened. This is where 9/11 happened, right? There's so much Muslim nature within this city for so long, and that happening is kind of like a coming together moment. So I feel like, sure, I don't think it was to show dominance, but kind of to show that Muslims are.
Well, I didn't say that. No, I think it's wholehearted for Muslims. I think Muslims just really are excited to invite people to their religion. Wallahi, I think it's da'wah. And I think sometimes that motivation can work against itself when you do things like that, like a public prayer in Times Square in Ramadan. And we know religiously it's better to pray in the masjid. We're going back in this again. Go ahead.
All the nations of the world are here. A lot of them are celebrating New York. The Norwegians were doing the
I saw it. Yeah.
And so they're complaining about praying Times Square is that, they're coming to assert dominance. They're going to show their culture.
Look, yeah.
The display of foreigners asserting dominance. The reason. The Norwegians came and they all did foreigners asserting their dominance and displaying their culture in their cultural hub of Times Square. Did you see anybody complain?
Nobody complained. No, they didn't.
He didn't say a word.
I said a little about timeline too.
No one said a word of complaint.
You can say it's a double standard. The reason for that is obvious. It's because Norwegians are white, so they're not going to get mad.
So it has nothing to do with Islam. It's a racist.
It's a cultural bias. Norwegian culture can be in some way. It doesn't have anything to do with the United States. These people are European. They're white. I'm not justifying it. I'm saying, why would they get mad? Obviously, when it's a bunch of brown Muslim
foreigners displaying their culture. But Vikings rowing has nothing to do with American culture.
Yeah, but they're not getting, because the people aren't. What I'm trying to tell you is that it's white people in a white country, and another group of white people come to do some different white as in like anything that's Scandinavian, Norwegian.
Hey, but did you have an accident today?
Nothing is scarier than the daycare bag.
We used to have to throw out our clothes, but we found Downy Rinse.
Downy Rinse helps remove stubborn odors in just one wash.
Downy. I looked a lot different. I started my degree in 1986, and
It's a skin color.
Who is white?
But they European culture has had its roots here in the United States. Maybe not Norway, but European people, just hang on, European people have a basis here. Turks are not really like European. That's a gray area. It's a gray area.
Turks aren't white, they're Asian.
Yeah. They're like a combination of several different things. They're not really white either. Just because they are in Europe does not always necessitate they're white. How are you funneling down? Let me make the greater point about Times Square. Listen, we've already defined it. White can be separate from European, but it can also be the same thing in certain instances. But the nuance you're highlighting doesn't take away from what I'm telling you about the Times Square situation, which is Norwegians are there. Why would a white person who's from America get mad about a bunch of other white doing some other white versus brown people doing something that has never been in unison with what these white people have seen? I'm not saying their grievance is valid. I'm just telling you where they're coming from, because I can obviously see it. Who is white to you? What is white to you?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. There's no consistency.
What are you talking about? He's white.
Why is he white?
Because he's European. He's Albanian.
So on Turk's side?
No, it's not the same thing. There's so much nuance. You're trying to like blanket over white, black. Okay, what am I?
You're a Sudanese. You're out.
What am I, black? Oh, there's nuance. There's nuance.
In my position, I don't think it's important.
What is he, Asian or Arab?
He's not black. He's Yemeni.
But he's technically Asian.
He's Cuban. He's Muslim. That's why the fixation on race is a meaningless conversation.
But race is an intrinsic characteristic that matters to people. You might not care about race, and I think caring about race too much is bad. But you're just never going to get that out of other people, especially when there's a racial identity within the country's history. But white people are Europeans. White people are front-facing white, fair skin. Portuguese people, they don't speak English.
But they're European.
Yeah, but if you want to speak on an extreme, what's the point of highlighting whether a Portuguese person is white or not? How about Spain here? Is Spain white?
It doesn't matter. That's not.
You're making it matter because you keep asking me.
I'm making this because you're saying white people should be accepting, or this is why you're accepting of other white people. And they don't even know what white is.
But there's a familiarity. There is a familiarity. When they see their people, they're white though. And Vikings have a huge history in European history, or huge culture and influence in European history. Nico, you know what white is. You know what encompasses white. You know what encompasses European, Caucasian. It's all the same thing. North African. They're North African. What are you talking about?
So they don't define white.
European.
They're they speak an Indo-European language.
Am I being reasonable?
I'll say I'll vouch personal experience here. When I first came to this country, I was 5 years old, and I never seen a black person. I'm like, the first black person I saw, my mom started screaming. I was like, what the fuck? I was like scared. I don't know. I hadn't seen a black person ever. And I think when I was like 6 or 7, around that time, and it is true, even though I don't know these people, I wouldn't even speak the same language. If I did see a person that looked similar to me, that was like white-ish, I would feel safer. So I understand the familiarity aspect of what you're saying about the Norwegians. But white is you have to look at the roots of it. Like look at where their tribes come from and look at the history. You have to kind of pinpoint every single country.
I'm just saying.
You can say right now Europeans, but like Gypsies don't go to that. They all come from India, they're nomads.
You're adding like an unnecessary element of overcomplication.
You know, what is white? Who is white? So, are Portuguese white? Why not?
W. He's right.
Okay. What about Slavs? Are Slavs white?
Yeah.
Obviously Slavic people are white. Yes.
A lot of them disagree.
I know, actually, anti-Slav.
So, that doesn't mean you're not white? What do you say?
I said, like, you look like in Spain, they've been taking over by mostly for 700 years.
Yeah.
So they get mixed.
Okay.
Like in Latin America, they're Hispanic.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So what about Sicilians? Sicilians are mixed with
And right there, they didn't make it up.
Sicilians are on the cusp of not being white.
It's already
It's like almost every single person on Earth you get a DNA test.
Bro, I'm just saying, you know what white is. You know what white is.
But basically, what you mean is like someone who looks like, but has no clear definition. It doesn't mean European because we've already ruled out like African countries in Europe.
social identities, it's all convoluted and ambiguous. But what I'm saying is I've been telling you that, but there are establishing factors that you can use to discern as to whether somebody is white. Like, I look at this nigga right away, he's white, I can clock it. His hair, his features, he's pale,
You see how this is the same argument that a woman is what looks like a woman. It's the same argument.
No, bro. No,
It's the same argument. The truth is, a woman is someone who's biologically female.
Bro.
She has female parts.
So there's two. You cannot be conflating people who are identitarianism or follow identitarianism. You can't conflate people who are tribalistic and hold their identity close to home with people who think that there's more than two, that they can mutilate themselves. And I don't think that's a fair. I understand why you're trying to make that comparison. That's the way God made it.
Okay.
And God also made different people from different tribes, and we know that from the Quran.
Okay, different tribes.
So that they may get to know each other, he says, by the way. So God is not against people intermixing and intermingling, and that's per even the earliest Islamic scholarship. Like, there's nothing wrong with, and the Prophet, he said, there's no greater of an Arab over a black and a white over...
Based off of your physical attributes, right? If you have a vagina, you're a woman. If you have a penis, you're a dude.
Yes.
Okay? You cannot...
And you can use physical... Yes, are you crazy? Are you crazy?
You still have it.
Okay, so you can't use physical attributes to discern as to whether somebody's white or black?
You said if they look white.
Bro, look at our arms. Look at his hair, look at my hair.
If you really
Look at my lips, look at his lips. There's features you can use to draw the conclusion. The biggest one is your skin.
Where do you draw the line?
Usually his skin is enough.
Okay, so if he was...
I'm a little racially ambiguous because I'm kind of Arab, kind of don't look super black, but super black.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, I'm just black and I speak Arabic. Arabic is honestly a linguistic identity. It's not even really, but white is not. But white really isn't. Because Arabs span from Morocco, all of these guys over here that look different than him, and he's an actual Gulf Arab, he's Yemeni, I'm Sudani. But we look so different, yet we share the same culture and language. If I go into his house and I meet his family, it's all the same like customs.
How it should be.
But with white people, so what I'm trying to tell you, there's different. This is why Arabic has these differences. It's linguistic. With white people, it is physical.
What is it?
It's physical.
Physical.
They're features.
Okay, so what do you not like? Because I'm part white.
Eurocentric features. You never heard about the racist people who say, oh, the hottest people are white and they have Eurocentric features. That's why Glad always gets hate.
What if you're this? Not white.
Then you're racially ambiguous. If you're mixed, you're like literally nothing.
How mixed?
Then
What's the percentage?
it's hard for me to identify. Looking at you, I would say, okay, he's Asian.
Okay, what about somebody who's Mexican?
Okay, he looks white. I know what you're talking about. He looks white.
Okay, you said he looks white. What is that?
He's white.
But he looks what is that?
Hang on. He looks white, so to me,
What is that?
from we use establishing factors, his physical features.
Okay, but you're saying looks white.
And he also acts white. Culturally, he comes off
I'm not
white.
even talking about anybody specific. I'm talking about people who are mixed, right?
Okay.
That people who are mixed are not straight.
Okay, so like say that I was like 25% Italian.
It's just me and you, girl.
I'd still be black.
Black.
Look at me.
Do you see what you're saying? You're saying based on social perception.
No, physical characteristics that are tangible.
You're saying this thing.
Physical characteristics that are tangible.
This is culturally
And there's also a behavior element to all this as well.
This is not defined by anything objective. It's social norms.
Yeah, but bro,
It's the same.
not everything in life is based on objectivity.
It should be.
Subjectivity plays a big... subjectivity is a large reason why we're here right now.
You're still a
You seem to have no problem because you're down with Mamdani.
This could change. If a woman is somebody who looks like a woman,
Yeah.
somebody's white.
But that's different because that's biological. You're born with a dick or a vagina. You're born with a dick or a vagina.
You're born with your race.
You're born with your skin, yeah.
So you haven't said how much it is. Like, how
I just told Sneeko, I don't know if you're catching what I'm saying.
So Obama white?
If I look at Obama's black.
In Africa, he's white.
No, he's not. What?
In Africa, a lot of people.
Obama's black
A
everywhere.
lot of people in Kenya will call that guy a white guy.
No, they
In
wouldn't.
Haiti, if you're Obama in Haiti, for example, they call him Blanc. Blanc means white. If you are half white in Haiti, you're a white guy.
Okay, if he had told them that, maybe. But look, if I saw Obama and I didn't speak to him, I would say, that's a black person. And if I spoke to him, even if he told me he's half white, I'd say, you're still black. Because your skin is black.
What about logic, right?
He's white.
He's white?
To me, he seems white.
Why?
I don't know where he's from. He looks white because I'm using his physical characteristics to draw out that conclusion. As I told you earlier, is my basis for deciding race.
Do you guys hear what I'm trying to make? When you say he looks white, it looks like something that isn't even clearly defined.
But you can clearly define white, and I did it earlier. I just pointed out all his features. And I pointed out all his features.
Honestly, I think it's and you have to look at the rules.
Anyways, what's the greater point you're trying to make?
Hey, you say the same argument just if you say plastic surgery.
No.
Why not? So if your features are what define you, if you get a rhinoplasty and you get skin bleaching and you become like this Michael Jackson,
Michael Jackson's black. Because we know he's black. We know he's black. You can try and bleach your skin and mess with your nose.
imagine you saw him on the street.
Well, Michael Jackson's like a one-off. He looks really weird. But if I saw him and I never knew, he's dead, I'm not going to fry him. But if I saw him and I never knew he changed his skin, I'd go, that's a really weird-looking white person. But what's the greater point you're trying to make?
You can define whiteness off of features. Michael Jackson's features.
More often than not, Sneeko, anybody in the world, when they see somebody, will immediately decide what race or ethnicity they are based on how they
You're
look.
saying it's social norms. It's what's acceptable, not anything objective.
But there is objectivity, which is your DNA, which is your features.
Okay.
I could never achieve European hair because of my DNA. That's objective features that I can never shy away from.
So then what's the percentage you need to be called white?
It's different for everybody. Some people can be half white and look very white. It just depends on their specific set of DNA and how that planned out. My brother looks way more Arab than me. So it's all nuanced. But I look way blacker. What is the point of this? Yes, I think all humans are one. I think the Ummah is one. But I think there's distinction. I don't think there's any benefit in going,
Chad, I still haven't seen define it. I still haven't seen define it.
what's Chad saying? Your chat hates me.
No, they're saying that I'm born down. Steve show.
What's the greater point?
It's like the overfixation on race is a distraction. It divides us for no reason. And it's arbitrary and nobody has even been consistent. It's just new idea. Because for generations, the Europeans were on war with each other. Perfect example. You know who's a major demographic in the concentration camps? The Polish, the Slavs. The most famous white nationalist, white supremacist. He put the Slavs in concentration camps. He said these are not part of our DNA. He said Germans are the pure aliens, and other Europeans are not allowed.
Yeah.
So based on that definition in the 30s, others weren't white.
Okay, that's one definition from his extreme fascism ideology.
Following the definition of today, so I'm
No,
saying,
I'm not. You haven't even. I established my position. I said in the Quran. No, my criteria is the Quran because I'm Muslim. Allah said in the Quran, we made you from different tribes, i.e., we made you all look different, and so that you may get to know one another. So to me, that's how I go about my life. That's how I look at it. I don't have a problem with race mixing, but at the same time, I'm not going to demonize somebody for being a little bit more to their own people. By the way, he can speak to that because he's Albanian. I don't even need to ask him. I know he has family members that would not like if he went and married a black girl and dated a black girl, even if she was Muslim. Albanians hate that shit, and they're Muslim. Albanians are very nationalist. Yeah, and that's. But we shouldn't always demonize that. Some people want to keep it home. Some people want to keep the bloodline the same. I don't think that should be demonized. When it becomes bigoted, then it's an issue. But I don't think there's bigotry inherently always instilled within people being idealistic or like tribalistically centered. Like I don't think that's always an issue. Even if my mom said, "Oh, y'all that want you to marry a Sudani girl, preferably," like I'd say, "Okay, like I agree with that."
I think it is an issue. That's why nowadays when people get married, especially like people in New York,
To be honest, I want a Sudanese wife.
they make it very cultural, like fixation of this. You see like all these weddings are like, oh, you need this much for manner, you need this way. This is how the cause you need a giant wedding. And all this is cultural. Adding too much tribalism and cultural aspects to what?
Yeah, but I want my kids to look like me though.
I mean, all the times you looked at me young. My reasoning for why I only want an Albanian wife and have pure Albanian kids is because we've been, like, there's been so many times that we've been on the brink of being taken out.
So what do you think about all this?
How the culture is then from something else. All the tribes.
It's not an advantage. It's a discussion.
Together. It's just how it's just remains. A lot of these conversations are like viewfiles, like future investigators.
Now, me and Sneeko have good discussions. They're like, okay, would you marry a Yemeni girl? Or are you already married? I don't know.
I feel like this shit
animalistic, whatever, I'm sure that a lot of people in your family would not want you to even marry a girl in Palestine, probably. Probably Yemen only. It's normal, bro. This is, even Muslims fall victim to this. You know?
A scholar recommended, like, marrying within your own culture.
Yeah, this was back in the day. I know what you're talking about. I believe it was Sheikhul Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. I believe he said something similar to that, or one of the early, or Ibn al-Qayyim.
It's supposed to cause less fitna.
Yeah.
It's easy for the families.
There's no clash of culture. Look, if I went and married an Albanian Muslim girl, that's cool, but like,
Our brothers want to kill you.
it's just, there's just gonna be tension, and it's like, you know, I'm just gonna marry my own. It's a Sudani queen.
You wouldn't enjoy it. Like,
I wouldn't. Actually, no, Sudan only. What?
I'm saying you wouldn't enjoy it. For example, if you said if you want to marry an Albanian man, it's like you go to a family event and you see half her family.
Yeah, I also like don't want to stick out.
Exactly.
Like that's another reason why I wouldn't marry an Albanian girl, just because like I would literally like, bro, imagine me at an Albanian family event. Niggas be like, yo, is he lost? Like I don't want to be the token monkey. Like, look at him. You know. So I'd rather be with my own.
Virtually every man you get with is gonna cheat on you, ladies, okay? So it's just on you really to find the guy that's worth taking the cheating from.
Exactly. That's why I said I keep my man. I know he cheats, but I keep him. I wasn't arguing with you. It was sad. That's what I'm saying. Y'all the ones that agree with it is the same ones that cheated on. Exactly. Okay, but listen, I just feel like this. Okay, listen. I was just saying this. Every man cheat at the end of the day. It's your perspective to put up with that man's shit. Because at the end of the day, y'all have to build. Y'all building y'all relationship. Y'all together. Y'all growing together. Like you can't from something to nothing. Like something like nothing to something. You can't stay in nothing.
So it's just on you really to find the guy that's worth taking the cheating from.
Exactly. That's why I said I keep my man. I know he cheats, but I keep him.
You guys arguing with me that
I wasn't arguing with you. It was sad. That's what I'm saying. Y'all the ones that agree with it is the same ones that cheated on. Exactly. Okay, but listen, I just feel like this. Okay, listen. I was just.
How do you guys think I got in trouble at HSI? You ever think about that? The school I went to had an intern program called the Go-On program. A lot of top brass at HSI went to Northeastern. So I come in, I got good grades, I'm a Division I athlete, I speak Arabic, picked up, I got the internship, and then I was able to become an agent after that. Why did I get that opportunity? Because I went to a good fucking school. You have to go to an elite institution nowadays. If you want to get a job, freshman on college, get a good job. It's all about networks, and the good schools have the networks. How do you guys think I got in trouble?
Every man cheat at the end of the day. It's your perspective to put up with that man's shit. Because at the end of the day, y'all have to build. Y'all building y'all relationship. Y'all together. Y'all growing together. Like you can't from something to nothing. Like something like nothing to something. You can't stay in nothing though. At the end of the day, but a man can grow, a man can change.
Let me ask you a question. This guy that, hold on. How old was this guy that you were with?
21.
Okay.
The one I had,
Yeah.
21.
And what did he do for work?
He had did some construction shit.
How much does he make per year?
I don't know, bro.
So he wasn't supporting you?
Supporting me as in
Like you still had to work.
financially?
You still had to work.
I was working because at the end of it, we was gonna have 2 babies together.
Okay,
I
so-
didn't want.
so you couldn't provide for you by yourself?
At the end of the day, I want to be an independent woman. I don't want to be dependent on another man. I don't care how much money a nigga make. I'm gonna be independent regardless. Because if a nigga was to up and leave, I'm not gonna be
Answer the question. Could he support you both financially himself?
What?
Would he be able to support you both financially himself?
No.
Okay. So, I mean, I would say that it's your fault that you got with a guy that was cheating on you that didn't have the capacity to take care of both of you.
First off, I said in the beginning, I could never say I called him cheating. And the only way I called him cheating, I always suspect the nigga to cheat. Regardless.
Why are you arguing then? Because you're gonna cheat regardless.
I'm not gonna put up, my bad, y'all. I'm not gonna put up and stay with a
nigga who is cheating though. That's the difference.
But when you go to the next nigga next door, they gonna cheat.
That's the difference with me and you. Alright, and I won't. That's why after this relationship, I'm not looking for love. I'm not looking for love. I focus on myself. This whole generation determined on looking for love. I'm this whole generation determined on looking for love. I'm not looking for that shit. Y'all bitches are single.
I just stay with my man. Even this is my reason.
Beating on you though.
This is my reason.
I'm listening to me beating on you.
This is my reason why I stay with my man. I know that he's cheating. It's like at the end of the day, I don't like being with everybody. I would prefer to just stay with my man.
And they're gonna restart with somebody new. And they're gonna change.
Exactly. It ain't gonna be no point.
I got you. Alright, we need shots here.
Yeah, this shit crazy, bro.
Yeah. I'd rather Melissa and Icy box my face away instead of trying to deal with these dumb bitches. WFNF and the crew in the back. Come on, smart.
Bro.
Your mama.
Okay, who's next? Sarai. Question for the ladies. Do you think when you get into a relationship with a guy,
That's the same for
they
before.
respect? Go ahead.
Guys, by the way, we have the like counter here. We need 4,000 likes, by the way, guys. I don't want to have to stop the show, but obviously we're going back and forth. You guys can see why he needs to be the leader of the relationship, man, because
Durreal underscore Frank Castle 512 tip 35. This generation is cooked. They bring stink at SS wigs, fake eyelashes, fake bodies, and all sound ratchet, but they want a real man. These drones out here in NYC should have dubbed these hoes rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing.
yeah, guys, let's hit 4,000. The like counter's there. I don't know if it's updating, but
I'm convinced all these men's gay.
oh, okay.
I'm convinced.
What makes them gay? For being critical of women?
It's like, yeah, it's like y'all, I don't know what to say. Like, it's just disgusting. Like, I don't take disrespect from men. I don't. I do way too much. I've been through way too much. I don't take disrespect from men. And that's just some people.
I like being called a bitch here.
Oh yeah, I'm a bitch all day, but I ain't no hoe.
Alright, biggest
All
country.
hoes a man.
Let's say the president passes reparations. Ladies, what are you spending your reparation money on? Is it up to 5?
You spent what on?
Reparations. Alright, that's one. Different on things.
Sure don't.
Elimination, intuition. If your answer is yes, why do so many women make stupid life choices to become single mothers or single responsible men?
We don't go into things thinking that we single moms. Men ain't shit.
That's true.
They switch up all the time.
Maybe shit. I'll leave it up.